Peacemaker season 2, episode 1 definitely lived up to the hype. Super excited to talk about this with y'all. We'll get right into it. So, the first thing it does is it actually changes the very last scene of the first season of Peacemaker. The very last scene was the Justice League coming in: Superman, Aquaman, Flash, and Wonder Woman. You don't get to see Superman and Wonder Woman because they couldn't afford them. But then Peacemaker cracks a joke. In this one, they actually changed this first scene to the last scene, but they changed the members to the Justice Gang. So we have the new Superman, the Hawk Girl, Guy Gardner, and Mr. Terrific coming in, and they're making jokes. And I think that's really cool. James Gunn is going to keep doing this thing where he doesn't explain shit, or he does explain it, but very, very briefly, and then moves on. Like, he's kind of like doing this for the comic book fans. He's not explaining everything to the casual audience. I kind of like that. So we open up this one. First scene, you can tell that Peacemaker's depressed. He's in bed. Eagly's waking him up. And in case you forgot about the weapons room that he has a whole bunch of doorways, and all these doorways lead into different worlds. And he's going through this room looking for Eagly after Eagly wakes him up. And he finds a door, and this particular door leads him to another world. And he starts to see pictures. He sees pictures of his family, and his family includes his brother that he killed in his world. So in this world, his brother's alive, and his father is not an asshole. His father's kind. He's nice. They have family pictures, and they are a team. They're actually fighting crime together. And so he sees this whole universe of like where he has a happy life, girlfriend, and everything. And they explain the weapons room just like 1 second, but it's a room that has quantum unfolding. It's like a storage area, and it leads to a dimensional nodule outside of normal space. So that's a lot of words just to say that it leads to other dimensions and worlds. Okay. So he's still working with Amanda Waller's daughter, Leota Adebayo. This is after her daughter had outed the entire Task Force X and her mother, Amanda Waller. Amanda Waller is actually not in it, but they mention her. She is going through congressional hearings and whatnot, which doesn't matter because Amanda Waller is just the shit. She can do what she wants to do. You can do what you want. So while they're engaging, we find out, they're both looking for jobs. Nobody's going to hire them in the field they were in because they already were whistleblowing. They see White Rabbit. White Rabbit is a little known character from DC Comics. Doesn't really do anything at all, but you see her coming out of this interview room crying and whatnot. And when you come into the interview room, you see Hawk Girl on the left, you see Maxwell Lord in the middle, and Guy Gardner on the right, and they're interviewing people to join the Justice Gang. And while they're interviewing Peacemaker, they're cracking all kind of jokes about him every time they switch the mic off. But they don't know the mic is actually still on. So they're just kind of hurting this dude's feeling. And they're cracking all kind of jokes. They're talking about how their butts need to be bigger. Well, Guy Gardner said his butt needs to be bigger. Hawk Girl says she wants her butt smaller. They're ordering popcorn. And Chris leaves heartbroken. And after that, clearly him and Harcourt are still on the outs there because he goes to see Harcourt after her interview gets fucked up. The interviewer basically says that she has toxic masculinity problems. I thought was hilarious. And he describes how aggressive she is and how she's always repressing her feelings except for anger. So she's apparently has all the traits of toxic masculinity. So when Chris goes to her house, see how she did, he's kind of going there to see if there's anything there, like any spark between them, because apparently they met up on a boat party a week before and they were both drunk. Something happened. Harcourt just kind of shoos him away, like, yeah, I was drunk, you were drunk, who gives a fuck? Chris leaves, goes back to his trailer. It's not a trailer anymore. Actually, he goes back to his dad's house as his dad is dead. Killed his dad in season 1. And he has this big random orgy and he's fucked up doing all kind of drugs and whatnot. So while he's doing these drugs, Economos, which is my favorite character from last season, Economos is on the phone with Vigilante. Vigilante is being hilarious, saying that he knows everything about owls. And he asks Economos to ask him any question about owls. He asks him 2 questions. He fails. Vigilante's just been calling because he needs a friend and no one else is talking to him. But Economos has been surveilling Chris because they keep finding blips. They, meaning Argus, keep finding blips of extraterrestrial behavior, blips in the dimension, portals, all that kind of stuff. And after what happened with Lex Luthor in a Superman movie, Rick Flag Sr., played by Frank Grillo, isn't having this. He wants surveillance on anything that could potentially be extraterrestrial, metahuman, etc. So when they catch blimps, Economos tells them about it, and they don't trust Economos, so they're sending other agents to help them out. But Economos goes to talk to Adebayo because he thinks Adebayo can talk Chris out of going through this dimensional door that he sees through the window. And so Chris goes to the door again. Apparently, he's been doing that, but he goes into the door again and he sees his brother. And of course, it's an emotional scene. It's the first time he sees his brother as an adult, and his father is there. They're having a drink together. They're reminiscing, having childhood stories that he doesn't know anything about. And as Chris is about to leave, when he's looking in his basically his self's room from that world, the Chris from that world comes in. And the Chris in that world comes in and fucks him up. Like, he beats him like a dog in the street. This Peacemaker is, I can't say he's more capable, but from this scene, you would think he's a little more capable, but it might just be because he has a suit. He's beating the main Chris's ass. And the only way Chris is able to get out of this ass whooping, which this Peacemaker was going to actually kill him, when they get to the door with all the rooms, the main Chris is able to hit a button on the suit that jetpacks him and stabs him right through the chest and kills him. And that is how the entire episode actually ends. I really like how James Gunn included Justice Gang in there. I like how he's going to include these big movie stars in these shows. So we need to see superheroes, supervillains, and vigilantes interacting in this world of DC. So he's doing a good job expanding the world, including his brother as Maxwell Lord is always cool. I don't know whether he's going to make Maxwell evil or not. In this portal thing, the whole portal thing was explained in one sentence. We get one sentence about it, and that's really all we need. Hey, there's a whole bunch of doors leading different places. You even see in a couple scenes, you see like an alien coming through another door to kill a rodent and burn it alive. And the alien even ignores Chris. So James Gunn doesn't need a whole bunch of explanations. It's a whole bunch of comic lore in here. We even see when Chris goes into the other world, we see that Bloodhaven I thought was Bloodhaven, but Bloodhaven is mentioned. That's where Nightwing is. That's where he does all his heroing and whatnot. And we see that they operate in Gotham sometimes, and they just stopped the Ultra Humanite. So James Gunn is just casually including people that the regular audience wouldn't know, but comic book fans would know, and people that watch the cartoons would know, like Justice League, Young Justice, Teen Titans, Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond, all that good stuff. So I'm pretty sure he's going to bring in some other characters now. Now that he's mentioned them, we might see some people from Doom Patrol in here, if he decides to keep some of those actors. I know he's keeping Amanda Waller in here, like Viola Davis is still going to play her. And hopefully he keeps Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, because I'm hoping to see some actual Task Force X people in here. That would be the big drop, because remember James Gunn did say there's a huge secret about this show, and it's a huge guest appearance. I think that this first episode that had Guy Gardner, Maxwell Lord, and Hawkgirl, I don't think that's going to be the big reveal. I think the big reveal is towards the end of this series, once he saves the world from some kind of small incursion, because let's just face it, after this series, that whole room with the doors is going to be gone. He's going to have his helmet stored in his house somewhere. They're going to get rid of that. Argus is going to like dismantle that, or someone's going to blow it up, something like that. Or he might be clumsy enough and just blow up that whole room himself. So there you have it, man. Like, James Gunn is very simple. We're getting a whole bunch of lore. I think every episode we're probably going to get more and more. So I'm excited about this series. I think they knocked it out the park with episode 1. And I can't wait to see more. Comes out every single Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So I'll be here to make a video every single Thursday and tell y'all my theories. The only big theory I have, besides I think that Task Force X is going to be coming in, and that's the big reveal, and they might have some extra members and whatnot that comic book fans are going to like, is I think maybe we'll get something like, not a Nightwing or a Robin. Maybe we'll get something like a Kite Man. And that's exciting for me. A Kite Man or a Deathstroke, somebody big that just doesn't do anything. If y'all don't think Kite Man is big, argue with your mama, man. Kite Man is one of the best vigilantes ever. But that's all the time I have for today. I'm Kurono. You can find us on Kuronocomics on TikTok. You can find us on MLF HQ on YouTube and Minor League Films and everything else. So I'll catch y'all next time.